Okay, I will upload yesterday's video also. Will not upload it. So today we will work on the binary search tree, and this is the node for the binary search tree. So always remember the binary search tree has a value, and it has the left side and the right side. So we'll go to the binary that draw one. Let me go to draw part. Go to draw part and see. So this is the first element in the binary search tree. Let's say its value is 10. It will have 2 child, not more than 2 child. It cannot have 3 child. It can have maximum 2 child, or 0 child, or 1 child. So left side of this node, and this each individual part is called the node. So node has value, and it has the left side, and it has the right side. So this is the right side, this is the left side. Left side is always less than the value of this node. Right side is always greater than this value of the 10. So if I want to insert 8, whether I will insert on the left side or right side? Left side, correct. Left side, 8 will go on the left side because 8 is smaller than 10. But if I want to add 12, whether it will go left side or the right side? Yeah, 12 will go on the right side. Then again I will put, for example, 4. So it will go to this 10, and since 4 is smaller than 10, so it will go on the left side. It will check this 8, and 4 is smaller than the 8, so it will go on the left side of the 8. 4 will remain here. So binary tree works like this one. So left side is always smaller, right side is greater. Now the first task which we will do today in the binary search tree is insertion. So we need to see how to insert in the binary search tree. Just now I explained the insertion, but let's try the code for the insertion. So if you see this is the node for the binary search tree. Each node will be like this format. It has a value, and it has the left, and it has the right. When we start with the binary search tree, it will have the root. Root is null initially, but when root is null initially, but when, let me open it right now. Initially it will be null. Let's start a new one. So initially nothing is there, so root is null, so we don't have any node. So root is null. Initially it is null. We don't have any element in the binary search tree. Okay, now let's try to build first function of the binary search tree, that is called the insert. So I'll start with the insert equal to, okay, so some value has to be passed to insert in the binary search tree. Okay, so whenever we have the value, I will not put, let's say I want to put 10. I will not put directly root equal to 10. I need to create the node of this 10. Every time we want to insert in the binary search tree, we have to create the node. And node is consist of value and the left and right. Initially, left will be null and right will be null. So when 10 is inserted, first we have to create the node of 10. So value will be the 10, left will be null, right will be null. And this node we have to insert in the binary search tree. Right now the root is null, So the root will directly point to this node. So first step we will write down like this. We have to create the node. So I'll say constant new node is equal to, I will take this class as a new node BST. This is the node BST, and I will pass this value. So this new node will have the value of 10 because we are inserting 10, and the left side will be null, right side will be null. And now first step is we will check if root is null, directly root will be pointing to this new node. So first step will be if not this root, that means root is not there, then we will say this dot root equal to new node, and we will return it. Okay, so write down this part, and then we will test this condition, then we'll go further. So let me give you in the Telegram chat one. You can take from there. And I will write by the time you will write down, I will create one sample which we will test it. So maybe I will say var b equal to new BST. So it's a binary search tree. And I will say first time b dot insert. I will first put the 10. First value which I will put in the binary search tree is 10. Then let's see what is b. Okay, let's run this part. Okay, let's run this one. So we have this function, and we're inserting the value of 10. So b will be having the root of 10. Okay, let's see b. B is having the root. Root has a value of 10, and the left is null, right is null. Because of this line, initially root is null, so we are adding the value new node to the root. And remember, this value is not directly value, it is a node. That is, it is the object of left, right, and bottom. That clear? This point till this point. Okay. So is that clear till now? How to insert the first element in the binary search tree? We'll create a node and put it in the root. That's it. For the first element. We'll see other elements now. So what we do here, I will just put some comments. Create a new node for insertion. Okay. Check if root is null, then assign new node to the root. And if root is not null, then traverse the tree to find the right spot for insertion. Okay, question, is this clear or still there is doubt? Are you able to hear me? Okay, now.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. So now we will see if root is not null, then we have to find the right spot where we should put our node, this new node. So since we will be traversing to the left side or the right side of the root of the tree, so let's take this root into some temporary variable. So put the root in temporary variable and we will move this variable forward to left side or the right side. So I will say let current equal to this dot root. So this is a temporary variable which will change in the course of this program when we move to it. Now, before I go to loop kind of thing, loop part of it, let's try to do one step manually and then we will start the loop. Manual insertion first. First we'll do manual insertion of one element and then we will write down the while loop. Okay, so now already we have 10 inside the root node. That means it is not empty. So now when I want to add some new element. So right now we have 10 here in the root node. And the left is also null. And the right is also null. Okay, so we have, this is the current scenario. The value is 10. Now let's try to add one element called as 8. Okay, let's try to put one element. Or let's put the 6. Let's put the 6 first. Okay, let's put 6, not 8. Then we'll put 8 after this word. Let's put the 6. Okay, so now first thing which we have to do is compare this number with this number. If this number is less than 10, then we have to move to the left side. But if this number is greater, for example, if I want to insert 12, then 12 is on the right side. 12 is bigger than the 10, so it will go to the right side of the tree. So the first step is compare this element with this element. And then we have to decide whether we have to go to the left side or we have to go to the right side. Okay, so let's do the comparison. So I will say here loop will start, but I will not write down the loop code now. First we'll do one step manually. Okay, so what is the first step? Check if we want to go to left side or right side. That is, check if current number is less than, if the value, not current number, if this value which is passed is less than previous value or greater than previous value. If it is greater than previous value, then where should we go? Right side or left side? If the value which I am inserting is greater than the previous value, then I have to go to right side. Right side, right. Then go to right side, and if it is less than previous value, then go to left side. Okay, so now this is the current means this is the previous value which we are talking about, and this is the value which we are inserting it. Now, can anyone tell me what will be the if condition which I will write down here to make this part work? So what should I put that if condition? What will be the if condition here? Root is assigned to current right now, so I assume you're talking about the current. If current dot wall, yeah, Shweta, you have written directly current. Current is a node, so it will not work. We have to say current dot wall is greater than wall, right? Okay, so we will write here if current dot wall is greater than value, then so this current dot value means this one, greater than value. That means, or we can check, wall is greater than current dot wall. We can put either because we have to write else condition also. So I can take, so I'll check the value which is inserted is greater than the current dot value, then go to right side. Now else if value is less than current dot wall, that means the insertion is 6, then we will go to the left side. Okay. Now else if it is equal, if the value is equal to current dot wall, then we don't have to do anything. Okay, because it is already there. In binary tree, duplicate records are not allowed. So if both are of the same value, then we will not insert it. We will just return it. We will not do anything. We will not go left side. We will not go right side. We will just return it. Okay, so that is how we will work. So when I say return it, though insertion is returning it, but in the tree will always be there. Okay, so this return is something we don't want to insert anything, just return it. Insertion will happen here and either of these two places. But when it is same, then no need to insert it. It is already at the right spot. Okay, so let's try to add manually one more number. So first I put 10. Now I will put b.insert 6. Now 6 will go on the left side. That means we will be here. So let me write on the console.log so we know. Go to left side. And here I will say go to right side. And here I will say this value is at correct spot. Okay, so no need of insertion. No need to insert. Okay, so this is the 3 case we will do. So we will put 6. I will put 6 again to, okay, we will not put now duplicate because we have to finish the loop, then we will do it. So let's run this and see what happens. Okay, so it's saying go to the left side. So we have the root which is 10 and then we are inserting 6. When we are inserting 6 which is less than the 10, so we have to go to the left side And it is not added here because we are not written the code to add that, but at least we have to go to the left side, that is in the left node. So let's go write down the code for left and right. Both are similar. So we'll just copy, we'll write one and then copy the second one. Okay. So we are on the right side. Let's try to go on the right side first. So here, first we will check if something is there on the left side or right side. So since we are doing the right side, we will check if something is here or not. If it is null, that means nothing is there. And if nothing is there, we can insert the new node here because nothing is here. So let's try to insert it if nothing is there. So now tell me the if condition. If this right side is not there, what should I check here? How should I check there? Give me the if condition that this right side doesn't exist. If current dot right is not null. If current dot right equal to null. Okay, right. Alright, but generally we don't check null. We can just check if not current dot right. That means there is nothing, no node is created on the right side. Then we don't have anything on the right side, and we will insert it here. So I will say I will say current dot right is equal to new node. So since it doesn't, nothing exists on the right side, so I will say current dot right equal to the new node which is created here. Similarly, on the left side, I will check if we don't have current dot left, then I will say current dot left equal to new node. Since we are inserting it, we don't want to go further. I will return it. Here also I will return it. Okay, so if left side and right side both are not there, we will insert on the right side or left side respectively as we want it. Now let's try to check it again whether it's working or not. So when I will insert 10, it will insert in the root node, and when I will add 6, it will check this value 6 is less than current dot was. So on the left side, it will be added. So let's check it. We're going to the left side and we'll see how it is added. So value is 10. On the left side, we created a new node, which has the value of 6. So initially it was 10 and 6 was added on the left side of the current value. If I try to add 6 again, okay, let's see what happens. So initially it goes to the left side. We are not written the looping, so it's not working properly right now. Let's write down the looping and then we can see more on it. Okay. So before we go further, is this step clear? If value is less, we go to the right side. If value is greater, we go to the right side. If value is less, we go to the left side. And if we don't have the right side, we insert in the right side. If we don't have left side, we insert on the left side. Is that part clear? Okay. Now what we will do, if we check with this part, if condition, if it is not there. But if it is there, if something is there on the right side, what should I do? Can anyone tell me? If nothing is the right side, I will add it. But if something is there in the right side, what should we do? Again check, right? So we have to again check if it is left, if it is less or greater than that. So to check again, we have to write the while loop here. which will run again and again. Okay. So we have to write the while loop here. So right now I'm putting true. I don't need any more condition here because I want some condition which makes me return the flow. So it's not needed. We can put anything. Let it go again and again and again and again till we return somewhere our element. Okay. So right now I put while as a true. So if we have current.write already, then we have to check this part again and again. Now, what should I write here so that it will check with the new value? Because right now current.write, let's say let's take the example once again. Let's take this example. I inserted 6 here on the left side. Okay, so let's draw again. This is 10. Then here I put 6 here. This is still null. Now I want to add, for example, 8. Okay, I want to add 8. So it will check, 8 will check. 8 is less than 10, it will go here. And here 8 is greater than 6. So it has to go to here. So now question is when I reach here, so we have the current dot left is there. Okay, so we have current dot left, which we can see in the code. We have the current dot left. If we don't have current dot left, we would have inserted here. But now we have current dot left. So we have to check now with this 6 number. Because initially we checked with the 10, this 8 number. And now we have the 6 number, we have to check with the 6 number. If I use current again, if I don't do anything, it will go in the while loop and it will again check with the 10 number because we did not move the current. Current is still at the 10. Current is here, which initially we checked with the 8 and we saw it has left. So we want to move here. So we now want to check with the 6 number, but current is located here at 10 number. So that means we need to move this current to here, this spot, so that we can check 8 number with this 6 number. So we have to move the current also. Since we have to check if again, but again we don't want to check with the current because we already checked with the current. Current is 10. Now we have to check with the 6, whether 8 is greater than 6 or less than 6. So we need to move the current. So what should I write here so that current will move from here to here? Current equal to current dot right and current dot left, right. So here, since we are on the right side and value is greater than the current dot value, and we don't have current dot right, we have something on the current dot right. So what we have to do, we have to move current. Here we have to move current to the right and here we have to move current to the left because here we have value less than the current dot value. So here I will say current equal to current dot left because this is the less. Here I will say current equal to current dot right. So when value is greater than current dot value, we have to travel right side. But if value is less than the current dot value, we have to go to the left side. So when it will check with the 10, it is less than that. That means we have to move current equal to current dot left. That means this one. And then we have to now check 8 with the 6. Now since it is greater than that, so we have to check current dot right side, not the left side. So we have to move to the right side. So in this way we have to go left and right, left and right, left and right, one by one here in this case. Now let's see if it is working. Okay, so let's put it here. So now it goes to the left side because 6 is less than 10 Now let me insert 6 again. So it is saying this is the correct spot, no need to insert. First it goes to the left side, then it goes to the correct spot. Let's add the 8 value. So it is first going to the left side, then going to the right side. And if we want to see B again, we will see how it is there. So initially 10. On the left side we have 6. On the right side of the 6 we have 8. Now if I try to add 4, let's add 4. 4 will go on the left side of the 6. Okay, now if I check B, initially we put 10, then left side is 6, and the left side of 6 is 4, and the right side of 6 is 8. So we are adding 4. 4 will go to the left side of the 6. That's how we complete the chain. So this completes the insertion part. I will delete the console so that it should not disturb with our thing. And this completes the insertion part. I will give you this insertion part in the Telegram chat. You can check in the console and save this code so that it should be there with you. So this completes the insertion part of the binary search tree. We still want to do the traverse in the binary search tree, which we'll do next week. Any question on the insert part?
No, sir.
Okay, so whenever I give you some example, your job is to write down this function 10 times. One time by looking at, one time without looking at, one time looking at, one time without looking at. So 5 times will be by looking at it, 5 times without looking at it. So do this 10 times so that you should remember this part. This insertion part is important, and all traverse is also important. Here we did traverse breadth first and the depth first or depth first. Here we have to do 4 types of traverse in the BST, which we will do next time. All the 4 times we will do next time. So before we traverse, you should be thorough in this insertion part. So before next time, you should be prepared to how to insert in the BST. Okay. So let's now move to our yesterday's example. So yesterday's example, we did it, but we need to do some improvements in the next, in the yesterday's project. Let me start it. ID is not defined. Which 22 number line? This one ID? Are you passing ID here? Then pass it. And when we call the options, we have to pass this disease ID. Okay, so now I will save this file. Because I will be doing major improvement in this file. That's why I will save it in the app 2 and we will work in the app again. So if I click this, I'm getting the options. If I click this, I'm getting the results. But if I go to the mobile view, you will see if I click any of the disease, it is updated in the options, but I'm still here. Okay, user will not know what is happening. He will just click it, nothing happens. This click it, nothing happens. Though it is changing the options, but he will not know. So rather than putting all three on one page, we will make the step 1, step 2, step 3. If user is in step 1, we will show this disease part. If user is on 2, we will show this option part. If user is on step 3, we will show this result part. But before that also, if you see, when I click this one, when I click any of the disease, it is called API again to get the result. And if I click this another one, again we are calling another API. If I click the third one, I'm calling another API. So this way we have to call multiple API again and again. So what I did, I created a new API where I have put all the data, this part and this part also in one API, so that we should not call again and again. So before we make the stepwise, let's make this so that we can call only one API at one time, and then everything will be from that API. So let's try to do that change now. So for that, I will create one JSON file. I have a JSON file. You can get it when I will commit it. You can get it from my project disease. I will create a new file called as data.json. It should lie inside the public folder in the project disease. This is a data.json file. This JSON file data I will also give in the Telegram chat. If you want, you can get it from there, or you can get it from this repo. So I will put it the complete data here. Okay, let me put it here. I will copy. So I put complete data here. So it is about how many lines? 3344. So this is the data which I got. Now if you see, it has the data. Inside data we have two main key value pair. One is called home and one is called diseases. If I want to display all diseases, I will go through this disease part and display everything. And if I want options, so options are inside the home part. And you will see for disease ID 1, these are the options. For disease ID 2, these are the options. For disease ID 3, these are the options. So everything is in one API. So we don't need to call multiple API. Okay, I'll be back in 1 minute. Okay, so now instead of calling this API, we will call this data.json and we will get everything from there. Since the structure here is little different, because here we were getting data immediately, so we were getting this data immediately, but here we are getting home and disease, so we need to manipulate little bit on it. So let me show you how to do that. So before, when the page will load, we will call this data.json and I will load it. So let's put this one, data.json file. So when the page will come, we'll get this data.json and everything will be then inside the diseases. If I try to console these diseases, So everything will be inside the diseases. Okay, so when the page will load, we'll call this JSON file. It will give us the data.data, and the data.data is nothing but these two are there. Okay, so let's see what happens now, what we are getting here in the disease. And then we need to manipulate the things. Now you will get error because initially we were getting the disease as an array. Now if you see the disease is coming as an object. Okay, so we need to make sure that this object is going fine. Okay, let's check what's happening. Okay, so we will get error, it's okay. So initially when the page will load, you will see data.json is called, and in the data.json we have the data. Inside data we have the home and the diseases. Inside diseases we have list of all the diseases here. Okay, so now what we will do, we get the diseases. It is combination of home and the diseases. Now let's loop through the diseases first. Previously we were looping. Previously you will see the diseases was coming directly in the array format, and this was in the array format. Now we have to go inside diseases, we have to go inside diseases, another diseases. And here we have the object. So let's try to fix this one. So now we have to fix this part here. Diseases is going with the map. Can anyone tell me how can I access this data? What should I write to get this data? So let me write. Previously I was mapping it. Now if you see diseases is nothing but a combination of diseases and home. So I want to access this data. Can anyone tell me what change I should do here so that I can access this data?
I think diseases dot map. Another diseases.
Okay, this is correct. This part is correct. Diseases dot diseases, but map will not work. Can anyone tell me why map will not work now? Previously map was working. Now map will not work.
So because we are filtering.
Because filtering what? The map is not a function.
You are only selecting one. There are two elements, right? Two child elements, and we are selecting only the second one.
It is not the reason that map is not working. Though we are selecting second one, but it is not the reason that map is not working. Can anyone tell me the real reason why map is not working? This part is correct, but map will not work. Why?
Sir, can you show us the data? We are getting data.
Yeah, data is, we are getting this. This is it, and this is the home. So for first one number disease, we have this much options.
Sir, this is not in data, in array.
Yes. If we want to use the map, we should use array. But currently, the disease is coming as an object. Previously, it was coming array, so map was working fine. Now, disease is coming as an object, so it is not working fine. So what should I do here? Change. So now, how I will loop the object so that I can go to this one. So I should not change this part. Everything should remain same. What should I do here? Or we can. Yeah, we were dealing with object. That's why it is not. Can anyone tell me what should I do? Change here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me. If you have
we need to manipulate data, or we need to change instead of map something else.
Okay, so that depends on you. You can change map to something else, or you manipulate whatever it is.
Okay.
Maybe I have not done a lot on this part. Maybe that's the reason you may not know. So this is there are a lot of ways you can do it. You can go through. When you are taking this one, when you are taking this data, you can go through these diseases and you can convert this into the array, and then you can use that one. That is one way. Another way is, if I don't want to do that part, I can directly use this object and in a different way. I'll show you how. I will say object.keys, and then I will say diseases.diseases.map. So object.key is always an array, and it will be the of these keys 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I write down this object.keys diseases.map, then when rake will come as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It will not come as the value which previously we were getting in the array format. But here the rake is coming as the key 1, 2, 3, 4. Since it is coming as a key, so instead of the rake, I will put it as index. Because when we are getting this index, okay, let's see what rake is coming. I'll show you the rake. Before I remove it, I will show you the rake. So you will see now rake is coming as 1, 2, 3, 4. Previously, what was coming rake? Previously, it was coming as this value. Now, since we have changed this format, we are looping the object. So to loop the object, this is one of the way we put the object inside it, and we say object.keys. So it will take all the keys. Keys are this one. Now, so since it is a keys, I will, instead of rake, I will put it as index. So index will be index like this. But we want the rake. Rake is nothing but the value which I showed you, the value which is this one. I want this value. So I will create another variable rake, which is nothing but I will take this object and put the key that is index here. So what will it do? It will take this object, and for this object I will pass the index. So first time index will be 1. So it will take one of this object. So rake will be index is 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we want to see the rake, so now if I see, now you will see index is same, but rake is the value which I want. So how to convert the object into the looping? So we will take this object in the object.keys, then I will put the object, and when I map it, I will get only the key, that is this key. Now if I want to get the value, I will say diseases.diseases, that means this object, and I will pass the index. Index is nothing but this key. When I pass this key, it will give me the value. And since it is giving me the value, you are seeing this is coming correctly. Any question on this part? Understanding of this part? Yesterday,
yes,
yesterday what we were doing, we were looping the, I will show you what we were doing here. Yesterday it was map, that it was array. So we were directly using the map and we were getting the value. And if we want to index, we can pass separate parameter as index here. But now we have the object. So to loop the object, we will say object.keys. Yes, yesterday was in this format. So we will say object.keys. So we will only get here as a key, and which I will pass in this object to get the value. Can anyone tell me if I pass another here, comma I, what will be the value of I in each case? If I say put comma I. In the previous day, yesterday, if I put here I, so I will be from 0, 1, 2, 3, because this is the array. So it will give the key index, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if I do same thing here, if I pass here, what will be the value of I? Though it is not needed for us, I just want to understand if you know what is the value of I.
sir. It will start from 1.
That is index. Index is starting from 1. We already saw in a few minutes back. So index is nothing but, index is, let's see what is index. index is nothing but, index will start with 1. It is nothing but the key which we get here. But this I is, since we are converting this object to the array which has only the keys, therefore I is nothing but it will start from 0 number. It is like an array 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I want to see what is happening in this one, object.key digits, let's try to do what happens with this one. If I want to see what is happening in this one, let's see one. So this part, this object.keys digits is an array where we have 0 and the keys of digits. Keys of digits is like 1, 2, 3 are here. 1, 2, 3. So the object is converted into the array, and we only have the keys of the digits. That is this one, this 2. Okay, is it clear? So we don't need I. When I go through this object, we take the keys. Keys are nothing but 1, 2, 3, and we will go to the object and we get the value from the index. Is it part clear, these two? Any questions on this part?
Clear.
Let me explain you once again. Maybe no one is answering. Let's say if I object name Jack, last name power. So this is object. If I say object, what is object? It is the name and the last name Jack power. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so let me explain you what I mean. So if I run the object, it is the object of Jack and last name power. Now if I do like this, object dot keys of obj. So what it will take all the key name and the last name and put it in the array like this. Okay, so it will put like this. Let's put this in the variable. Now if I say array, what is array? Array is name and the last name. It is not the value. It is the key, that is name and last name. So key of this object is converted into the array with the name and the last name. Now I will loop through this array. I will say for let I equal to 0, I less than array dot length I plus plus. And then I will see console.log val is array of I. Now what will I see array of I in each case? In the first case, what will I see this value?
Name. You will see the name.
Yeah. First time it is a name and the last name. Second time it is last name. Now, in addition to the name, I also want the value. So what should I write here? So I want to see Jack for the name and the Bauer for the this. So what should I write here?
Maybe dot value ARR of I dot value.
I want exact object dot values or anything. Just have to type it. I will put it and we will see.
Oh.
Okay, just type in the chat. I will put same thing here and we will run it. Okay, let's try first this thing. Okay, Rakesh is saying to put this one. Let's see if this will work. So it is not working. We are getting undefined because the value does not exist in this array. Array has only the key. So if you try to get the value from the array, you will not get it. This array is nothing but only the key. So what should I write down here? Again, Anand, you cannot get the value from the array because values exist only in the object. Array is only the key, name and last name. So if you try to access the value with that value or name, it will not work because array does not have these values. These values only exist in this object. These value does not exist in this array. Array has only the key. Right, object of. So we have to go to object. Okay, we have to go to object. Now, in the first case, we have to pass a name. So in the first case, we have to pass a name, and name is nothing but this array of y. So I will take this array of y, I will put it here. Now if I press enter, we will get result as jack and power. Because this value exists in this object, not in the array. Array is only the name, keys. So we are looping through the array to get the key, but to get the value, we have to call the object with that key. So we'll get jack. Object with the last name, we'll get this power. So here, similarly, in our case, if we check in our case, when I do object.key of diseases, then this array which we are getting, array which we are getting is nothing but this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are not getting the value. And to get the value, we have to call the original object. What is the original object? This disease.diseases. And we have to pass the key which we are getting from the array. We are passing this key. Similarly, what we did now by passing object of the array of I, that is the key. So here I am passing the key. I will get the value. Is that part clear? It is similar to what I explained with the example. Is that clear? So consider this as array. Consider this index. Index is nothing but in our example it was array of I. Almost clear, okay. And this is the object. This disease is object in our example. Object is disease. So if I want to access the value, I will say object, that is diseases of index. This is the index, that means array of I. In our example, it was array of I. Here it is index. So it is similar kind of thing. You go through this video again after the class when I will upload it. Maybe today or tomorrow I'll upload it when I get time. So you can go through it. It is similar to this. Okay, so now what we are doing, we are going through the loop. So we don't need to change this part because it is almost same. Rec is same for each one. So when I call the get options and I pass the disease ID, I will pass the disease ID. So now let's see what change I should do here so that I can get the proper options. We don't have to call this backend API because we have the data already in our diseases. So diseases is already having this data, home and diseases. Once we get diseases, if user put 1, we have to go to the home of 1 and we have to choose these options. If user click the 2 number, then we have to go to home of 2 number and we have to choose these options. So what will happen if I choose 10 bronchitis? I will go to the home and number 10 and I will choose these options. So this is how we have to choose the options. Now we'll see how we will do this and choose it, get options one. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, so when someone will click any diseases, okay, I know we have disease ID, but previously I was doing, I was getting the disease ID, I was passing the disease ID, I was going to the backend API, I was getting the data, and that data I was saving in the ops kind of thing. Okay, so now here what we have to do, we already have the data. We don't need to call the backend API. So can anyone tell me what change I should do here so that I will not call this option. Okay, get options is gone because this was needed when we need to call the backend API. Now can anyone tell me for the ops what should I write here? What should I write here using this disease ID so that I can get the data which I am expecting it? So we have the diseases. I click the disease number 1. I will get this ID as 1. So this ID will become 1 in my example which I am showing you 1. So I will get, as soon as I click this headache, I will get 1 number in the memory here. If I click the second number, cerebrovascular accident, I will get 2 number in my this variable. Now once I get this 2 number, how can I get the options from this home? What should I write here so that I can get this options 1, this options when user will click 1? What should I write here so that I should get all these options? Yeah, we need to find with the home array. So how will you do it here? Home array is inside the diseases.home. So everything, if we want to go to home array, it is diseases.home. Okay, so diseases consists of 2 key value pairs. One is called home, one is called diseases. Diseases was used to display all the diseases. Now, once user will click the disease 1, we have to take this 1 number and find the options in the home object. That is this one. So what should I write here? So that is OPT will nothing but all these options. Rec.home. I told you rec is nothing. Rec is nothing but disease ID and the disease. So rec.home does not exist. I told you home exists in the diseases object. Rec is only having the disease ID and the disease name. Find is used only in the array. Home is not the array. And there is no home as a variable. We have diseases.home. There is no home. And find can be used only in the array. This home is an object. So we have the object. This home is the diseases.object. So if I want to get this home, list of all home, it is inside the diseases.home. This part. And user has selected 1 number. So I want to get this all options. So how can I go to this all options? This home is in this variable. Right now, no. When we want to display it, we will convert it. But right now, no. Diseases.home ID. This is correct. One person has written correctly. So first we have to go to this home. Okay, so let's write down this home. I will check what ops are. First we have to go to the home. So when user will click one number, for example, I will get the disease ID as 1. So I'll go to the home and I will get the home.1. I will get these values. So what we have to do? Home.1. If user says 2, I have to go to home.2. Home.2, this one, and I will get all these options. If user says 3, then I have to go to home.3. I will get all these options. Since this is object, I can directly go to diseases.home.3. So diseases.home, since this is a dynamic value, I cannot say write down dot 1 or 2. We have to pass in the rectangular bracket the ID of the disease, that is this one. So when I say this line of statement, it is going to the home object and it is passing the disease ID which user has put, and we are getting the options. So if user will put 1, let's say user will put 10, then I will go to the home. I will pass the ID which user has selected, that is this 10. I will get these options. Okay, so let's do experiment. I will click headache. Though it is breaking because of another reason, but you will see the options are ops equal to ops. Let's see where is the ops. So ops is, these are the options for the number 1 disease. If I choose number 2, though it is giving error, but you will see ops are from 13 to 18, which is for the disease ID 2. If I click 5, you will see options are from 29 to 33, which is nothing but in disease in this home. For the number 5, we have 29 to 33. Okay, so whatever user is clicking, we will pass in this home object to get the value. So we are setting the options correctly here, but it is breaking, which we will fix now in few minutes. Okay, so at least we are able to get the options for what user is clicked the disease. Is that clear? Okay, so since you are doing this first time, little bit it's difficult, but you will watch the video and do multiple times, it will become easy. Any questions on this part? How to get the options? Any questions of this part? Okay, so if you don't have question, go through the video if you have not understood properly. I will explain in short once again. User will see all the diseases in this li. When user will click the first disease, I will get this rec.disease ID as 1, which I will pass in the home. And if I pass 1 inside the home, we will get the options of the 1. So user will click 1. I will take this value 1. I will go to the home and take the options for the 1. So I will get these options and I will save it in the options variable, which you can see here. Options is now updated with this 5 elements. If I click the number 1, you will see the option says for the disease ID 1. If I select anemia, you will see options are for the disease ID 50, that is anemia. So based on what you select, we go to the home and we go to the home and we go to particular number which user has selected. This 30 is nothing but the disease ID. All these are the disease ID. So if user has selected 1, we will go to 1 disease ID. If user has selected 2, it is 2 disease ID. Like that we have it. And we'll get the options which we save in the options variable. Now we are getting this error because the options is now object. Previously it was array. So let's convert this options to array also. So this option says previously array, so map was working fine. Can anyone convert this line of statement similar to what we did here? So you have to convert this options.map. Since this now options is object, so we need to convert into map array and we have to use that array. Can anyone do same thing for this one? What we did for the disease. Do it, I'll give you 2 minutes. Just write down. Let me see who can do it. Okay. So we will do similarly what we did here, object.keys, and then we'll write down this statement also. So here we'll change object.keys of options, and here we'll get the index here, and here I'll say const rec equal to options of index. Previously we were going with diseases, but here since we are looping to this object, so the rec will be options of the index. Okay, that's what we will go to. So let's refresh it, and if I click headache, you will see options are coming here. And now we are not querying to the backend server; it is directly coming from the variable which is in the memory. And when I click this one, I'm getting the medicine here. So only change which we did is converting this object to the array, so I can display it. And once user will select it, we convert these options to the array so that user can see this one. Okay, so this is the change which is there. I will give this file in the Telegram chat, and I will also give the data.json. You can experiment it now. Okay, so let me give you this one. And I will also give you the data.json file in the Telegram chat, and I will give you 5 minutes to run it and see if it is working for you. Okay, let me know if it is working fine for you. Okay, and if it is not working, we will debug it why it is not working. So I'll give you 5 minutes. Yes, what happened, Soma Sundaram? I give the data.json in the Telegram and this file also in the Telegram. What is the problem? Okay, yeah, you can unmute yourself now.
Okay. Actually, I have one.
Can you speak little louder?
Yes. Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, I have an idea to just improvement when we are clicking on the disease, right?
No, your voice is little lower. Can you speak little louder?
Is it better now?
It's better, but still louder. Speak as if you are giving lecture to 10 people. Speak little louder.
1 minute.
Hello.
Yeah, now it's better.
Okay, sir. Yeah, in that output, we are clicking on the disease, right? For example, can you go to the yeah. Once the user click on the headache, we are showing the options, right, sir?
Right.
Yeah. Here in that heading, we showing the options only. But I try to show options for the disease. We need to get the data from here. Options for the disease, headaches. Options for the disease, like that. I I'll try to do that improvement.
Right.
But I
So you want to say options for the disease headache. Yes, right?
yes. Ah,
Yeah, we will come back to it. We need to save in another variable. So when user will click headache, we have to save this disease in another variable. Okay, so it's a good point. Now we don't know which options we are showing it. Okay, so user has clicked common cold or this, we don't know. Okay, so we want to mention here that user has clicked this disease, right? So we have to show that disease. So we need to say whenever user will click this 7 number, we have to create another state variable. We have to save this information and then we have to show this here.
okay.
So I will do that now in 1 minute. So we will create one more state variable
Okay.
called as disease and set disease. This is diseases and we will create this disease without s disease. So whenever user will click number 1, we should save that here so that we can show user which option he is checking for, because user will forget what he clicked. Okay, so now what I will do, when user will click this disease, here we are doing here click, right? When user will click the disease, I will remove async because we don't need the Ajax for right now. Here I will also save. Here I'll call set disease and I will also save this rec. When I save the rec, it is nothing but the disease ID and the disease name. So user can see the disease in which he has clicked. Let me show you that one. Yeah, you made a good point. So if I click headache, you will see disease is disease ID and disease is headache. If I click shock, you will see disease is shock, and we will show this shock near the options. So let's show this shock part near the options. So let's do it. So we have everything in this one. Disease dot disease. Okay, so we in the options part, I will also create one h1 tag. I will say disease dot disease. And this part only I will show when we have. So previously I was putting condition option here. Now I will move this condition to this grid part. Maybe, okay, let's not put it now. I will put it later. Here I will only say if we have disease and then we will show disease dot diseases. So if I click headache, so I'm seeing headache here and displaying it here. Yeah, it's becoming too big. Let's make it 3. Okay, now we are getting this option. So user can see what he is seeing. I will put this part in the result also so that let's refresh. Now headache here is the headache result here also. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we are checking if disease exists, then we show disease dot disease. If it does not exist, we don't show it.
Okay.
Because when user will click this, user will not know whether which disease he has clicked it. So he may be confused. So we have to show this part. So we need to do little more improvement on it. Like I told you, pagination. I want pagination because if it is mobile, user will be confused because data will be at the bottom. So he will be confused. So we will be to pagination. On the pagination 1, we will show this one. On pagination 2, we will show this one. On pagination 3, we will show this one. So that we will do next week. For today, this is the only thing we did. And these are not the modern medicine which we are getting it. These are the homeopathic medicines, which are light, not very harmful kind of thing. So if you suffer from any one of them, then go to this, try or check your color of your tongue and try to get this medicine and see if you get improvement or not. So if you get 2 medicine, generally you have to go and study both the medicine, but for now you can take any one of them, but take only one. Okay, any questions?
Yeah, can we show the diseases in drop-down options, sir?
We can show in drop-down option also. Same thing. You can show in drop-down also. Try that one if you want to try. But I want to fill the page, so I use this one. Otherwise, whole thing will remain empty. So user will see the whole page empty, and here he at least see the whole screen.
Okay. Yeah, to handle the UI issue for the mobile.
Yeah, for make the page look full, I use this one.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do it. So next time, if you suffer from any one of this one, try using this one, and give me your response whether you got this improvement by taking this medicine or not. And this is the self kind of thing, self-treatment. I'm making this page self-treatment so that user can go and find their own medicine when they are sick. That is what the purpose is. Most of the people have the fever every now and then they can go to fever and choose the color of your tongue, and right now take any one of them. But in reality, you have to go and study a little bit more on this one, which one is better for you. But now don't worry on that, just take any one of them. Is that clear?
Yeah.
And try to do this project, because 99% when you go in any company, it is based on this logic which I just showed you. This is the logic which is there for every project. Whatever project I work for, it is everything this one, though we have to do multiple pages, but ultimately the idea is same. I will delete this gate options one because we don't need it now. Okay, so I cleared it. I will commit this file, and maybe you can experiment this after the class and see if you understand this process. So 99% project has this idea which I implemented here. So you have to go through it thoroughly, and most of the projects which you will get in your company would be this similar kind. Okay, that's all for